Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago, and across the globe. Welcome to Real Talk Corner. Hadassa, how are you?
Hi, I am fine, thank you. How are you, Esther?
Hello, Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome to Real Talk Corner on this beautiful Tuesday. It's the 24th day in the month of February in the year 2026. Earlier, what's going on? The time is flying away. But welcome to Real Talk Corner, and it's the page where conversation sparks change and every voice matters. My producer laughing at me. Y'all, I'm tired and this brain shutting down. But let me welcome also my co-host, the beautiful, bubbly Hadassa Charles McCloud. Girl, I miss you, We missing in action. What's going on? But we on tonight, people, and we on tonight on our roll. There's so much to talk about, especially our Prime Minister who gave that bold, wonderful speech in Is it Sin Kids? Yes. Oh my God, she's my backbone. Yes. Hello. I support this woman 275% as our Prime Minister. Beautiful. She looks beautiful. And what a wonderful, beautiful speech. Nothing can be compared with her boldness and her sternness. She is really a warrior. She's a warrior princess. Hello. There wants nothing with our Prime Minister. Hadassa, how are you doing, darling?
I am doing good. I'm excited to be back. So many wonderful things to talk about, I feel. Um, yeah, I have just been just basking in the performance of our United National Congress government and just really happy to be shoving socks in the PNM's mouth because I feel like, they're finally getting a lesson in, how to run a country properly. But I figure we have like the next hour and a half or however long to talk about it. I'm just really excited to be on. It's good to be on another episode. I want to talk about everything. I want to talk about our Prime Minister in St. Kitts. I want to talk about Carnival. I want to talk about everything that has been happening recently. So, yeah, I guess we could jump into it. How are you doing, Esther?
I am really good, but I realize you want to talk about everything. So I'm giving you tonight, because the both of us want to talk about everything, but we can't. But let's jump right into our Prime Minister's speech this afternoon, not too long ago in St. Kitts. Let's listen to this brilliant woman. Listen to this princess. Listen to the whatever good name you have in your head about her, the warrior princess, the bold, brilliant, strong, effective woman. Let's listen to her tonight.
Again, I repeat, in Trinidad there's a saying, who vex lost? But we gained from the help, I'm saying, that military help, and I will welcome them again. So we changed the policy, and we were able to bring those borders down by 42%. As I say, that's 257 less people who would have been dead had we not taken that course of action. So let me finally take this opportunity to sympathize with the government and people of Mexico, as Prime Minister Holness mentioned, with regards to the cartel fuel mass violence happening there. That could have been Trinidad and Tobago if we did not take the action we did. To partner with the U.S. is not to undermine the Caribbean region, but to defend it. TNT will continue to cooperate with the U.S. in the best interests of our citizens to drive destabilizing and destructive forces out of our country, out of our region, and out of our hemisphere. On the issue of full and free movement, I'll go quickly here, just a few points. I know we are all committed to full and free movement. I know several CARICOM islands are moving forward with that. But in Trinidad and Tobago, again, illegal migration is a big problem. It has been left to flourish not just in TNT but elsewhere. Currently, Trinbagonian taxpayers, we pay the bills for the tens of thousands of illegal migrants who have come into our country. It has put an enormous strain on our health services, government services, financial resources, and we are working diligently to resolve this illegal immigration crisis that we have. Again, many of you may not have it, but Venezuela is just 7 miles away from us. And we're going through right now to try to identify and do a registration exercise, because there are thousands of them who are a drain on the taxpayers of Trinidad and Tobago. So at this time, I will say with the greatest respect, Prime Minister Drew, Trinidad and Tobago, we are fully committed in principle to the full and free movement, but we have to deal with the thousands of illegal ones I already have in my country. So I will say, not at this time, but we agree in principle to full and free movement.
Listen, Hadassa, I want to give you time to speak here, but I want Trinidad and Tobago to know, not only is she looking beautiful, the woman spoke like who she really is: intelligent, bright, brilliant, compassionate, and all about Trinidad and Tobago citizens. She concerned about our citizens. Producer, I sent a clip there with the former Prime Minister. I want you to play it. I want the people to weigh the difference between this Prime Minister and the former Prime Minister and the crap that is be saying. Share that for us. You understand? Because listen, he probably would have been there talking a pack of nonsense, right? Talking about how much sheep and goat he have, and the boat in bringing in goods in Tobago, a set of liars. I have a clip there too with Minister Geraldine John talking about the boat and how much work, all the complaining about. You know, the propaganda party, this propaganda national party, only want to bring negative in our country. And it have people who really supporting these people and the nonsense, you know, really supporting them. Look, since our United National Congress have been in power, there has been so much things happening. Too much to even count, numerous and at every level, on every side. Don't talk about the drive for employment. People, you all need to sit back and pay careful attention to what is going on. Stop being chained up by the propaganda national party. Stop. Let's play this clip and listen to the former Prime Minister.
Well, on behalf of all the dignified people of our constituencies, we say to Kamala, go to where the monkey put the nuts. And they want to know why we have not diversified the economy. Just drink your rum and get on my face. I choose my word very carefully. You could behave as an effective opposition leader. I think the country is better for that. But geometry is not really the way to deal with these things. Kamala Prasad Bisesa and the UNC go and put that bill where the monkey put the nuts. Take it in your pooch. And a golf course like a woman. You got to groom her every day. And then that, you call on the Prime Minister to do something about crime. I'm not in your bedroom, I'm not in your choice of men. That is tantamount to hugging up a porcupine to go to bed. Because I will tell you, like she loved you, like she loved no other man. And she could jump high, she could jump low. She could drink this, she could drink that. She could back in the dog, we could drink no she chat. And you will see government ministers who came into office looking like Miss Howard Chat. It's just shut your mouth and let Trinidad and Tobago straight.
Compare that clown to our Prime Minister. People want to talk, and this came up as a result of Minister Barry Padarat when he said what he said in the Hyatt Fete. You know, they jump out to put up that, to talk about what statement was made, but they forgot. The propaganda national movement forgot that they were there for a decade, and this country ran down to nothing because of them, because of their negative words, because of their negative speeches and negative, what is the word, frequency. They forgot. Penniless just want to come out and talk about our Prime Minister have to answer and our Prime Minister have to this and our. They forgot that they were there and they make a mess of this country. They have our citizens under depression, oppression, frustration. They forgot that. They brought it to nothing. And everything that our prime minister do, they have something negative to say. Everything our ministers do, they have something negative to say. All you can see that these people is to be thrown aside. Well, we buried them already, but somehow some good bone touched them and they came back up. But we need to bury them for good. You see what Tobago did with them? We need to do the same thing here in Trinidad. And local government election is coming. And if those people who say they're supporting PNM continue to support, that's their business. It's not my business. But hear what? I am not, even though the slogan was, when UNC win, everybody win, I am sorry. If they want to continue to support that demonic kind of situation that went for the last 9 years. We all saw what's happening now with the minister, the former minister of health name is being called. Listen, there's so much corruption that has passed through this country. But I don't want Hadassa to talk about that. I want Hadassa to talk about all the good things that is happening now. We just needed to remind the viewers, and please share the live. The PNM is no good for this country. The propaganda national party is no good for this country. And within the next year and a half to 2 years, I keep saying it, we are going to see the good results of a brilliant woman, a woman of compassion, a woman of class, a woman of integrity, a woman with brains. We're going to see this, our prime minister, how she's going to turn this economy around together with her team of brilliant ministers. Yes, Hadassa.
Indeed. I mean, that clip that you played of the former prime minister, I mean, if anybody uh, is wondering why the hate for Kamala Persad-Bissessar is deep within the PNM camp, it is no wonder because it came from the top. Rowley was making sure that he fed people bullshit for years and their fears and made them very angry. When and to the point where they could not realize that he was actually the wolf in sheep's clothing, that he was actually me, and he was making their lives miserable. I see him complaining the other day about the sea bridge and the fact that his goats and sheep can't get any feed because Tobago doesn't have a feeding mill. And you have to ask the question, but you were there for 10 years. Didn't you realize that Tobago was in need of development? Didn't you realize that the sea bridge needed to be improved? You sat there for 10 years and you did nothing. And now you want to come and make it out to be a Kamala Persad Bissessar or a UNC issue when that is not the case. But we have your number because we are not fooled anymore. I really have to say though, I'm really proud of my prime minister and how she addressed the concerns of the CARICOM leaders because of course there's a lot of grumblings about the fact that we worked with the United States of America in order to curb our drug trafficking and human trafficking and gun trafficking issue that we had on Tobago. And I'm really glad that she stood 10 toes down and she didn't back down and she said, look, we had an issue and it was not affecting you guys. She talked about the fact that immigration is an issue for us and it's not so much at the doorstep of the other Caribbean islands. And she talked about the fact that she is very, very willing to continue partnerships with with CARICOM heads of government and with CARICOM and seeing the value in it, but also prioritizing the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. I really want to commend her for that because she also destroyed another PNM narrative because they were stoking people's fears, talking about how Kamala, oh, she gave up on CARICOM and whatnot, which is not the case. Making sure that you throw in water on your house does not mean that you want your neighbor's house to burn. That is not the issue. But Kamala Persad-Bissessar is a prime minister for Trinidad and Tobago. So that is one narrative that has been destroyed. Let me go to my notes because I don't want to forget anything. Um, I am just so happy how all the narratives around our prime minister and the performance is crumbling because you remember they were stoking everybody fears talking about war in Venezuela and all kind of thing the other day and that fell apart. Our prime minister stood strong and she said, you don't have to worry. There's no war that is coming. We are fine. That was destroyed. I just spoke about CARICOM. the fact that they talk about, oh, the refinery will never be restarted, and then our Minister of Energy, Rudal Munilal, had to come with good news to talk about the fact that they are engaging with Indian powerhouses to get this done, right? This was not an election gimmick. This was not a fly-by-night promise. She said she was restarting restarting petrogen, and she will do it. Another thing too, they talked about the fact that our economy is in peril and UNC don't know what they're doing, right? But they were there for however long, and we were blacklisted from the EU um, in 2017 because we were not, what's the word, compliant in terms of tax systems and stuff like that. Blacklisted for 9 years since 2017. We have been removed from the EU tax blacklist. You know, all these things that are happening in very short spaces of time, that is destroying the critics. And finally, they talk about, oh, UNC destroying Carnival. What? And I just have to say congratulations to Michelle Benjamin, who managed to pull off the greatest and the safest, right? No incidents, the safest carnival in 20 years. Talk about performance. Talk about performance. What did PNM go say? They didn't have nothing to say. But I wanted to go into just a little bit of greater detail, because the PNM like to talk about all the groundwork that they do, all the groundwork that they do. And I sent a clip for our producer, and I don't know if he has that image, but all the yes, that is it, all the groundwork that they like to talk about, right? But under their stewardship, I mean, oil production went down, national gas production went down, LNG production went down. All these things decreased. LNG cargoes export went down, ammonia production went down, drilling activity went down, real GDP went down, we lost jobs. All these things. That is the performance that they like to be bragging about all the time. And we have to remember that under the PNM, what they saw over was countries like Petrotrin being shut down, of course, but other international country like ArcelorMittal, they left and they pulled out of Trinidad and Tobago. Yara, they left. Tringen left. Nikwan Energy left. Unilever left, right? So if this is the performance that they want to be proud of, I think something is wrong with them. But they have to talk and bring up all these negative points because they have nothing. They have nothing, and all their narratives are being destroyed. So that's what I just wanted to start with and to talk about. It have so many other things I wanted to talk about the EU, for example. So for those of you who are not familiar, right? We were blacklisted in 2017, along with 17 other countries, including Barbados, St. Lucia, and Grenada. And all those other countries managed to get their business in order within 2 years. Trinidad and Tobago did nothing. Rowley did nothing. Stuart Young did nothing. And Colm Imbert, Minister of Finance, did nothing to rectify this problem. And it made our country unappealing. It made our country not necessarily a choice for international investors and international corporations wanting to come here and invest here, right? And in a couple of months, Kamala Prasad-Bissessar has managed to get her soldiers working and every man working, and we have been removed from this, right? And this when you are blacklisted, it means that you are failing to cooperate with tax jurisdictions aimed at curbing tax evasion and reforming tax systems. So the PNM was actively making our country a haven for criminals and making us appealing to other countries and companies. So, like Esther does always say, come, Imbert need to shut up, sit down and shut up, trying to take credit. Or they did all the groundwork, all the back work, right? But we came and we did it in 10 short months. I want to say a stellar congratulations to Michelle Benjamin again for that carnival that she pulled off. And I want to say congrats to Marshall Montano on winning his 12th road march. I want to say congratulations to Republic Bank Exodus for winning the Panorama finals, and Roxanne O'Malley and Curtis Eustace for winning King and Queen at Dimash Gra. 1 second, eh? My mom's calling. um yeah, so congratulations for creating a carnival that everybody benefited. The bands had a great time. Even people who didn't have money was able to participate in carnival at a level that they could not have before. In terms of the Flavor Village, they had Marshall Montano on the final night. I really want to say congratulations, and I hope to see bigger and better as the years go on. I have other things to talk about, but I'll talk about it later
Talk.
on in the show. I'm a call from
Just
my
talk.
mom.
You can go ahead and talk. I give you all the time to talk. Tell them, tell them, since they didn't know.
Just now, I need to turn it back to you, Esther. My mom is giving me a call. I need to take it.
All right, sure, no problem. Well, indeed, Hadassa, had a mouthful, and that is not even half of the things that has been done that has been successful under the United National Congress government. Let me tell you all something. The United National Congress government is here and they're here to stay. And whether we like it or not, Mrs. Kamala Prasad Visesa, SCMP, is our Prime Minister. Whether we like it or not, Mrs. Kamala Prasad Visesa, SCMP, is our Prime Minister. And the United National Congress government is here to stay for a very long time. Because I know when we are finished with this 5 years, I cannot see that the people wouldn't want a successful government, a government who have turned the economy around. No propaganda, no lies like they did in 2015 is going to allow us to change our mind. No mist of tongue, nothing, because this government is working for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. We haven't even spoken about the rural development under Minister Khadija. Okay, those who was fretting and fussing, they start working. The place started clean and it looking good. Listen, it's only a matter of time. I keep telling you all that. Have a little patience. Yes, it might be a little hard, but it will not remain so. Under the PNM from 2015, it became hard and it got harder and harder. And the hardest was when time was for election. We couldn't bear it no more. A little patience, and every one of you will be able to stand. Don't go and commit suicide and commit crime and all those kind of things. Pray, ask God to help you to withstand what is happening, because we, the United National Congress, didn't bring this on us, but we are making the change, and the change is for better. You wouldn't be staying, only working 2 weeks on and 2 weeks in. And for those who had friends and colleagues in the PNM were able to stay on longer without getting a break and all that foolishness. No, you all are getting substantial jobs that you can have to do, to pay bills, to take a loan, to do something constructive for your life. Go back to school. Do something that is going to benefit you, especially the African community. You all need not to rely on our 10 days and all. We're not going to be having that anymore. Get yourself together. Educate yourself, people, and let us work and stand with our Prime Minister and her team. Better days are coming, and it starts already. So I want us to continue to stay focused, to be strong. Do not give up. Come on, do not give up. Much is happening. The Children's Hospital has now been reopened. The Prime Minister was inviting persons from the Caribbean to come, bring your children to, because that hospital was intended for the Caribbean, not just for Trinidad alone, for all the children in the Caribbean to come there and get medical attention. Listen, so much is taking place. UTT is coming together. The University of the West Indies is coming together. CAL is coming together. All the ministries, they are working tirelessly to put some substance back into our lives, because we were drained to the bone. It was going through the marrow, because PNM, I don't know what the propaganda party was doing, what they were doing, and now all they can do is talk. All they could do right now is come up, Penniless and Marvelous and all the others could only stand up and talk a pack of nonsense. You understand? Because they are the ones who were responsible for bringing this country. Listen, all they haven't heard the half. They have not been told. But 1 year anniversary is coming, and you all will hear, those of you who really want to hear, because some of you, I think you just like to be abused and brutalized. You don't care. You just don't care whether or not, things change. Is as though you really don't care. You don't care. But we have a prime minister who is concerned about the citizen and who is doing everything in her power to ensure that this country become what it's supposed to become, a paradise. They talk about paradise. It has never seen the paradise like it's going to be seen it in a short few years to come. Yeah? Okay. So, yeah, and producer, show the Caribbean, show the clip where the Prime Minister inviting the Caribbean to the hospital and to UE. Show that clip for me.
Thousands of illegal migrants who have come into our country. It has put an enormous strain on our, so I will say, not at this time, but we agree in principle to full and free movement. And then there's a global focus on Cuba, right? Elected by free and fair elections. And so we support regular, free and fair democratic elections in a multi-party system. All citizens must have equality before the law. There must, because so in Trinidad is Haiti, I'm sorry, Haiti, we are sorry, and we are still sorry decades and decades after. Armed gangs, political collaborate member states to encourage their nationals to take advantage of the new to help them. In conclusion, I say, I began by reaffirming Trinidad and Tobago's commitment to CARICOM. In that spirit of regional partnership, we warmly invite member states to encourage their nationals to take advantage of the new educational opportunities in Trinidad and Tobago. We are working on it now. We had built it 10 years ago. It was shut down, the South Campus of the UWI. We welcome all students from CARICOM. We want to open it in September in the new academic year. So we welcome CARICOM students to come to us for those additional spaces at the UWI. And in addition, we have reopened the Couva Children's Hospital, and we hope to get some help from the UAE. They're here today. We met with them, our delegates met with them for a full opening of that Couva Children's Hospital, which we open up as well. A state-of-the-art children's hospital we open to all citizens of the CARICOM. Please come. We have a campus. Education is a passport out of poverty. Take advantage of that extra campus, and of course, the spaces and the beds at the Couva Children's Hospital. We look forward to collective coordination and cooperation whenever and wherever our policies and initiatives align with those of the CARICOM. However, as I close, I say TND will put on national.
So here we have it. She has invited CARICOM students to come from September to be a part of the university. Her wings is spreading wide open, not just for Trinidad and Tobago. And let me say this, students and citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, take full advantage. Now is the time to go and educate yourself. Ensure, because it is here in our country. And the Caribbean has been invited to come as well. Also the Children's Hospital. It is open, not fully, but she has invited, I think is the EU, to come in and to assist in getting the Children's Hospital ready to pump, to go to save the lives of our children. Listen to me, so much is happening, and we cannot forget Dr. Munilal with the Ministry of Energy and Energy Industries. Listen, that is going full speed ahead. And then I saw something else with Chairman Ramdeen. It kind of missed my mind, my thoughts right now, but I think we have a clip, so we're going to, I want Trinidadians to see what is happening. We have never seen all of this taking place under the Propaganda National Party.
Chairman of the National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago, Gerald Ramdeen, says the company is now in a better place to provide natural gas to the downstream industry. He made the disclosure during the signing of 2 contracts between the NGC and Perenco for the supply of natural gas from 2 fields.
I'm proud to be able to stand here and say to the citizens of this country, to the government and to the ministry, that in the last 9 months, we've been able to secure all our upstream contracts so that our supply on the upstream is secure to be able to confidently make offers to our downstream customers and to provide them with a reasonable price, the volumes that they require, for the term that they require.
The two contracts were signed for Block 2C and 3A. Mr. Ramdeen explains that the signing of these agreements have positioned this country positively.
We are in exciting times. We want to work together with Perenco and all our joint venture partners, our upstream suppliers, our multinationals, our customers in the downstream, to demonstrate that Trinidad will once again be the leader in the energy sector, not only in the Caribbean, but in the region.
General Manager Perenco TNT Limited, Stefan Bach, says the company is pleased to enter into the agreement with the NGC and the Ministry of Energy and Energy Industries.
These agreements reflect the renewed trust and commitment between Perenco, its partners, the National Gas Company, and the Ministry, and reinforce our long-term ambition and future in Trinidad and Tobago. We extend our sincere thanks to the National Gas Company and the Ministry of Energy for their collaboration and partnership. I would also like to recognize the work of the teams that have been involved in negotiation, which has been diligent and very efficient.
And Acting Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Energy and Energy Industries, Karisna Tulsi, says the sign-in demonstrates government support for upstream companies and the NGC to stimulate and boost natural gas production in TNT.
Well, I don't have to say much. You all heard it for yourself. Hadassa.
Indeed. And I was so happy to see this.
Chairman of the National Gas.
Yeah, I was so happy to see this because, TCL was making some waves the other day talking about the fact that they have to raise their cement because the government raised natural gas prices, right? So this is going to shut them out when everybody knows that TCL has always found every excuse to raise their prices and they were digging out the eyes of the consumer. TCL is a top heavy company. What it means, it's overmanaged. They have a lot of people running that company with bloated, ballooned salaries, which means they have to find a way to keep the company profitable when they are taking so much off the top, right? And you need to ask the question, how come Rockhard Cement has been able to operate in Trinidad and Tobago, bring their cement from Guyana, and it still gets to our consumers at a lower price, right? So TCL actually needs to do some restructuring. But I'm really glad to hear about this partnership with Trinidad and Tobago and Perenco because I think this is the way economies work. In the short term, the government was not able to provide the gas at a lower rate, so the prices did go up, yes, but it is not something that they raise the prices and they turn their back on you. That is what the PNM does, right? So they had to find a solution, and I think we have found one. And he says he was very concerned about being able to offer more reasonable rates and to all the downstream industries, and we are going to see some positive things coming from this. I wanted to remind everybody, though, I don't know if people remember that yesterday the applications for the Land for the Landless program opened. They were advertising it at the top of the year, so that is now open, and I want to encourage people to go to the site is www.lsatt.com www.lsatt.com, and this is such a great opportunity, and I really want to make an appeal to persons of the Afro-Trinbagonian diaspora. You cannot sit on your hands and let opportunities pass you by and say that Kamla never do nothing for you, the UNC never do nothing for you, the UNC racial. There are opportunities out there. This is an opportunity for you to start building generational wealth and to leave something for your children and to start building a legacy. Please take advantage of this program. Apply, see if you get through. You could go in with a co-applicant, try get a piece of land, build a house, start to have assets in your name that is beyond a vehicle or just beyond the things that you own in your home. This is an opportunity for you to really, really do something different. And like I said, you cannot stay at home and scratch and say nothing is happening for you. It's not going to fall in your lap, but the opportunities are there that you can take advantage of. So again, on all fronts, really good work to all the MPs and all the ministers and to our Prime Minister. I am just so overwhelmed and so happy to finally feel like if you're starting to watch the wheels of a really big machine starting to turn. It is taking place, it's turning slowly, but we are in a safer country. We have crime that is down by 42%. We are continuing to build bridges with our CARICOM brothers and sisters. We are continuing to make sure that Tobago is taken care of. I wanted to say this though, because I really found that all the mishaps that was happening on the sea bridge with um, the acquisition of the new cargo boat, the Blue Wave, I thought that all of it was really suspicious. And I am somebody, I like to be like, really fair and give people the benefit of the doubt. But I think I agree with Esther when she talks about the fact that there are a lot of, uh, how should I say, P&M imps that work in these companies that sabotaging what the UNC is trying to do and to make the government look bad, right? I don't think we should just take these things that are happening and on happenstance, right? I think we need to be very, very vigilant and mindful that these things actually do go on because there was too many things that are happening. But again, I have to say kudos to Julian John. She made sure that she was at the port very early this morning to dispel a lot of propaganda about
Now,
delays
why
and
am I
things
here?
like that. Um, yeah, we can play that clip, David. Go ahead.
Cargo and the capacity for cargo, making that trip across the bridge in Tobago has really deteriorated. I'm about the facts. So this morning I want to ask the CEO of the port, where is the stored up cargo, the cargo that can't get to Tobago?
So we have no stored cargo for Tobago. We clear the yard with each operation and each sailing. So there's currently no backlog. So we have trucks that are waiting to load at this time.
Because not only does this Blue Wave transport cargo, cargo is also transported by all of these passenger vessels. This takes all the bricks, all the bitumen, all the oxygen, the dangerous goods, the poultry, and so on. This boat is a beast. It takes everything. As a matter of fact, this ramp that we are on is supposed to close at 3 o'clock today. But once vehicles come here, they take the vehicles. They take everything. They don't leave anything. And they are going to leave it down for me until 9 tonight. So what I'm confirming this morning is whatever they have ordered, all of what they have ordered will be on this boat tonight. We really want to show, that there is no need to panic. Look at that. All of that is space. And this is on the lower deck, right? When we go on the upper deck, you have even more space. Tonight, Captain, I'll be coming on board again.
That is really excellent. Again, we have to dispel all the rumors and all the propaganda. Julian John, she's on the ground, she's working, right? And I am sure that Mr. Rowley's pigs and goats will be fed because he will be fine. But it is the mischief that they continue to push, and the rumors are not true. The girl from the Port Authority, I remember her, I used to work with her many, many years ago. She said there's no backlog, right? And everything that goes gets onto the ship and is on its way to Tobago. Tobago is fine because if there was an issue, Mr. Farley Augustine would have said something. So don't listen to P&M lies.
Listen, that all doesn't ring a bell. You remember when somebody had said years ago, all going, everyone going home? Well, she say all is coming on the boat. Welcome all, and she's going to come back tonight. You see, Trinidadians have to understand the cult of the propaganda national movement. They're not happy that things is happening under
No,
the United National Congress government. And we have a
no.
track record of always changing things for the better of this country. All right?
Yes.
They're trying to make mischief. Rowley probably ain't getting feed because his animal is not animal. They probably is spirit. So the spirit feed ain't coming. I don't know. Because all is going to Tobago, and what is in Tobago, all that has to come to Trinidad is coming to Trinidad. But they so want to make this government look as though they're not doing what they're supposed to do. But if the people have sense and they tune in and they listen to, well, we can't say the news there because the news don't give all the information. But tune in to
No, of
program
course
like
not.
ours and others, and you will get the information that this country is progressing in the positive. It is progressing after God, because you know why our prime minister would put God in front and we'll walk behind, and things is going to happen. So for all of you who hurting still and all your vex, who vex they lost, okay, suck it up. I keep saying to the leaders of the opposition, all you need to sit down, shut up, and learn. Learn how to run a country if you ever want to get the opportunity again to run Trinidad and Tobago. Learn. Sit down, stay quiet, shut up, and learn.
Indeed. And also the revitalization plan that we have for Trinidad and Tobago, um, that they just say is that was Patrick Manning's Vision 2020. They lie. It is nothing like that. This is a completely transformative project, right? And they said, oh, nobody going to be interested in that. Julian John has reported that we have 965 EOI, which is expressions of interest, which is people from all around the world, companies from all around the world, local investors and foreign investors who are interested in helping us to get these projects up to the ground and to see them to completion, right? So we are going to get this done. There's no ifs or buts or maybes. We are going to get this done, and there's a lot to be excited about. I'm just like literally like bursting at the seams, so excited and so happy. And the PNM needs to do these things. They need to try to paint everything that we do with a negative brush, because they did nothing. And it shows them up and it makes them look bad. And that's all that it is. That is all that it is sour grapes.
Sour grapes, and they wouldn't learn. But you know what? We are confident that we're going to keep progressing and keep moving on, right? And we would continue in this show telling the truth. We're not going to be telling a lie. We're not going to be using any deceptive slogans or anything of the sort. We are going to do and say what is the truth, right? We are not going to allow the propaganda national party to continue to deceive the people. As long as there's breath in this body, we're going to continue to talk the truth. We're not telling lies. And I actually feel sorry for those persons who feel, I have been attacked on every side, but I'm sorry, because we're not going to stop. Our prime minister wants the best for the citizen of this country. You understand? You heard she talk about in her speech about the illegal immigrants, those who are fit to remain and get status here, resident status is going to get it. But those who are not fit, they're going to have to go back to their country. Our country first. She have said it from the beginning when we came into power, and the Venezuelan thing and everything that was going topsy-turvy by the propaganda national party. She was always standing and said to stand strong, do not be afraid. This woman was telling the nation of Trinidad and Tobago, do not be afraid. Instead of the ministers of the gospel and those who were standing up with the propaganda party and talking about, of course, we had to pray and all of that. They wasn't coming out and saying, don't be afraid, let us stand, let us put God in front and walk behind. No, they was joining with the propaganda party. This woman stand alone. You wasn't even hearing some of the other ministers because I guess a lot of people was afraid. A lot of people went through, heartache and was scared and afraid. But she kept her word. She keeps saying, do not be afraid. There's nothing to worry about. I think there's a time she make a statement. As long as Kamala is here, there's nothing to worry about. Okay? Because you know why? She always put God first and she continued to walk behind. And we need to do that. This country is going to be a successful country. It is going to be a country that everybody would want to come to. All right, we talk about a paradise. This country have never seen paradise like it's going to see it now. Not all of the citizens who have gone will want to come back home because people run away from this country because of the hardship that the PNM put us under, because of all the crime, the criminal activities. People were losing their loved ones. They pack up and they leave. I went for a certain period of time as well, and I only came back because I said, as long as this party is in power, I would live in my country comfortably. But people who are still saying the foolishness, wait and see. We ain't even reached a year yet. All right? We're coming close, but we haven't covered a year yet. And look at all the good things. I think, producer, we have one more clip that I want us to play with respect to Minister Esther Cruickshank, Minister in the Ministry of Energy and Energy Industry. He spoke today at the signing of NP and NESC collaborative effort for training and technical skills. Listen, so much things is happening. The young people are getting opportunities to start to study, to start to work. Things are happening. Nobody wants to run out of this country. 2 years ago, everybody was talking about leaving Trinidad and going, selling out and going. But that is not the talk today. Everybody is, for most of us, I can't say everybody because they still have those who stand on the side of the propaganda national party and complaining. Instead of they come over on the ship and put their hands and feet together and let us work together to make something great in this country. Put God in front and walk behind and see how things is going to go good. Yeah?
Good afternoon. My name is Ernesto Kiza. I am the Member of Parliament for Point Forte and the Minister in the Ministry of Energy and Energy Industries. What we have witnessed here today is something that this government continues to promote, which is the full integration of young people into the workforce. When we came in, there have been a lot of challenges. So this apprentice program between NP and NESC is a welcome addition as we continue to develop and to grow Trinidad and Tobago. But why I am making this point, we have a brand new center that was built and it is located in Point Forte. You would have heard a lot about it. I've seen people on social media querying what's going on. So I will answer here today. We are preparing for the September intake for NESC of young, bright persons in the constituency from Ikakas to Erin to Cochrane, to have young people be integrated and to be afforded the opportunities at that brand new center that was built by the Ministry of Sport and Youth Affairs located in Clifton Hill, Point Forte. Stay tuned. We will be sending out very shortly, very public, advertisements for intake in the various disciplines. We are finalizing the curriculum and we are working with the Ministry of Tertiary Education and Skills Development and NESC to bring this center to life as we would have committed on the campaign trail. So Point Forte, Ikakas to Erin, right back to Cochrane, and even to Labre, we are going to have this center operational and ready for the September 2026 intake. So stay tuned. Thank you. God bless.
Here you have it. If we can't see and if we can't hear, well, maybe we just not supposed to be in this country. But Hadassa, look how much things is happening.
No, that is really amazing because while you were speaking before, you mentioned the brain drain that our that our country experienced under the PNM for the last 10 years. And this is not something that we should take lightly, because brain drain actually means us actually losing valuable citizens, people with skills and intelligence and qualifications that could help us build our country and build our economy. Kamala Prasad Visasa is steering the ship of our country in a way where these people are going to want to come back. They're going to want to come back because there are going to be opportunities, but also the standard of living is going to be higher and the country is going to be safer. So all these things matter. All these building blocks that are being laid down now are really, really important to the future of our country, to people coming back, to people wanting to live here, and to people wanting to settle here and raise their families. It is very important that people don't feel the need to escape, to run away, and to leave. I know about that too, feeling so stuck in a country where everything is so difficult to open a business, it's so difficult to get foreign exchange, it's so difficult, and all these blockages are being removed, and there are more and more opportunities. There's more opportunity for you to learn and to get educated and to get certified in something so that you could build your skill and to earn a very good wage. And also another thing that you mentioned, Esther, that the Prime Minister spoke about in terms of immigration. you know Kamala Prasad could have taken a very different approach to immigration, but she has said the bad apples will be thrown out, rightfully so. But those who want to stay here, they had to register. I think the fee was $700, and I really applaud that. Applaud that. One, yes, we would make money from it, but two, it is signaling that you cannot just come and eat of our resources and live off our resources and put be a drain on our economy and our health sector and all these things, and it doesn't cost you anything. And I think trying to regularize immigrants in a way where they could be integrated into the society, where they could actually build lives and where they could be tax paying, contributing citizens, I think that is a good thing. And I really have to applaud her for that approach, as opposed to saying kick everybody out, which is a very different approach that other countries are taking now. But all the way that she treats with people, this woman treats with people like a human being. She's very cognizant of humanity. She's not callous, she's not cruel, but she's also firm and she is very fair. So I think we have a lot to be excited about. And it's very important for us to make sure that we are pushing back on the very negative um, uh, stories that are coming out from the PNM camp, and even the ones where they had to find something to say about. So there's one thing I wanted to mention. So one of the reporters for one of those newspapers, I don't know which one it is, was interviewing, I think, vendors who worked along the Carnival route in Port of Spain, and they were talking about how it was so slow and this and that. All the wonderful things that happened for Carnival, they didn't focus on that. They chose specifically to focus on this. But I said maybe this is a good thing. And I think that we need to remember that the DNA of our Carnival has changed a lot, especially over the last 10 years, where bands are now responsible for feeding their masqueraders. So the masqueraders don't need to go out of the band to get food and water and drinks and alcohol the way that it used to be, where vendors could depend on these people passing so that they could make money. I think this is a very good opportunity for Michelle Benjamin, and I am sure she's up to the task to work with bands, work with vendors, and work with all stakeholders involved to make sure that nobody is being left behind. Mind you, there were so many vendors who did benefit from the Flavor Village, but my mother always used to say, if a vagrant tell you that your sneakers need your laces need to tie it. So it doesn't matter where it comes from. We will take that negative tidbit and we will turn it into something positive, because we want to make sure that everybody could eat a food and everybody could be happy and that everybody could have a good life. I don't want to forget, my granny is going to be 100 on the 27th of this month, in the next 3 days. So happy 100, granny. She's making a century, and I wish her all God's blessings. Back to you, Esther.
Happy 1 century, Granny. That is excellent. That's a great blessing, from God to make a
Yeah.
century, and she's still functioning. She's still moving around on her own.
Yes.
That is truly a blessing. I don't know if we would make a century girl. Granny have something to celebrate. I hope we having a celebration. I just hope so,
Yes.
right? That deserves a celebration. So we had to think about something. But on the closing note, I want to say that, I appreciate our Prime Minister. I would continue to pray for her despite all that they would say. And you said something about the media. The media, together with the propaganda national movement, all they look for is the negative. Now, nothing is perfect in this life. Don't care what you do, they will always have a little, something that didn't go right, and you learn from your errors. But that is all they focus on. And you know what? That is actually good, because it is brought to our attention, and now we can look to deal with it as we go forward. The media, together with
Which is
the
the difference
propaganda
between this
party,
government and PNM.
has nothing good. They only focus on the negative. They barely focus on the positive things that has come out from the carnival and from everything that the government is doing. They try to twist it. And I think by now the people knows and understand what is going on with them. All of them is the banker feeling, right? All of them, their heart paining. Some of them might drop down there just now because they're a little too, insecure, and insecurity does make you panic. Insecurity does cause you to get, palpitation and all of that, and that could cause you to get a heart attack. So they need to start looking at what is done, the good, and focus on that and start reporting that. And yes, you could still report the negative, because listen, life has its ups and downs, and nothing is perfect except God. All right? But when we see the vast difference, when we see how things have changed for the better, I mean, nobody could complain that they didn't have a good time with the carnival season. And the flavor, that flavor village, take the
Yes.
cake. You understand?
Yes.
The amount of people, every time I go there, because you know me, I don't like a set of crowd to be in it. Now, if I'm away and whatever, crowders make me feel claustrophobic. And every time I go there, I have to run back out, unless I'm on the grandstand or something, because the amount of people, right? And
Yes.
it was wisdom that was used to create an environment like that for the people. I think I saw the government brought back the carnival to the people before it was
Yes.
being taken away. But the carnival was
Yes.
brought back to the people in the regions,
Yes.
wherever it was brought back.
Yes.
And I want to congratulate the government for that brilliant, the ministry, and everyone who took part for that brilliant idea of the flavor village. I mean,
Village.
come on.
Yes.
I've never seen
Yes.
anything like that before. And
Yes.
like you said, the Friday before Carnival with Marshall, even with Destra, oh my God, you talk about people. You wanted to know if it was in Manhattan Square. It was plenty people. So,
Yes.
things is getting better. And the great part about it, Hadassa, is that people who didn't have money was able to go and free up themselves, put on some clothes, but some didn't have on much. You understand? But they went and they enjoyed themselves. They didn't have to complain, oh God, I
Yeah.
want to go to that fete, but I have no money. They were able to go and enjoy themselves. And of course, for those who had the money to go on Grandstand and North Stand and whatever, they did what they had to do. So it was, and that is only the beginning of what is to take place. I think that next year, God's willing, it is going to be much more organized, much more grand, bringing back the culture, because the culture of Carnival was quickly disappearing. It was only jam and wine, but you saw a lot of the culture coming back of the Carnival. Okay, of the history of Carnival was back again. So it was really good, and that is one part. I'm looking forward to Petrotrin and all these places opening and really coming back second to none with come on, within a couple of months, I think we're going to see those things coming back to the fore, and people being employed, and people being a little more relaxed and not tense as they have been under the propaganda National Party. So, I really want to tell people, have patience, continue to support. This is your country. Don't study the leaders of the propaganda National Party. They are hurting. And what they say, Hadassa, hurting people hurts people. They are grieving, so they want the citizens to grieve and to complain. They're complaining. We're not going to complain because we are seeing things happening. So congratulations to the Prime Minister again and to her team, excuse me, of workers, of hard workers. A special congratulations to people like Minister Jolene John and Dr. Munilal and also Khadijah. These are people who are working extremely hard, who are out there. Minister Barry Padarat, Minister Nicholas Morris, amongst others. Minister Kiza, these are people I am seeing they're working. It have others who are working, but these people are working extremely hard, long hours, and they need to be elevated. They need to be congratulated for the hard work that they are doing. If I miss anybody, but these are the names you are hearing all the time. They are in the forefront with the Prime Minister, getting the job done of bringing this country back to a level second to none, to become the paradise that it really should be. So I am grateful. The time has gone and, we need to wrap up. I want to thank all our viewers and I want to encourage us to share this live, share the page. Remember, I'm on Sunday morning from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. where I speak truth according to the gospel of Jesus Christ. If you don't want to hear it, you don't have to come on. If you want to come on and put your negative, it's not going to do me anything. The truth is, you are going to hear the truth and you'll have no excuse. So let us do this together. Live life like it's golden, live it in truth, and live it knowing that things are getting better. Trust God, put Him in front, and let us work together. Have a wonderful week. Until next time. Oh my God, my producer is telling me to thank my followers that our page, Real Talk page, has gone from 400 to 8,000 followers. So I want to thank you all. That means that you all have been working. Yes, you have been sharing the live. You have been sharing. So let me say thank you so very much. If my producer don't give me these information, I wouldn't know. So I must say thank you all and keep it going because we want this political gospel to be shared so people would know the truth. So come election in 2030, we won't go back and make the same mistake we make in 2015 and vote ourselves 8 years backward instead of going forward. And we know by 2030, when we take it again, we will be rejoicing. We will be saying, Lord, thank you for our Prime Minister and for those who are working along with her. Have a blessed night, everybody. Love you all. Bye.